Before memory had a name, the land breathed with spirits, and the lion awakened, not as flesh alone, but as the ancient promise between humans, beasts, and earth, where his paw touched the clay. The world remembered balance, and every footprint became a path shared by hunter, guardian, and wanderer alike. Through the lion's eyes, past and future folded together, revealing conflict born from fear, and harmony born from understanding. The land itself spoke in carvings and symbols, telling stories of times when separation was chosen, not by walls, but by respect. When the lion approached the people, neither roar nor weapon rose. Only silence heavy with choice and the weight of coexistence. Boundaries were drawn not to divide life, but to protect it, teaching that limits can be acts of wisdom rather than fear. Under shared stars, predators watched, humans waited. And the lion stood between worlds, guarding balance without dominance. In dream and vision, the future appeared fragile yet possible, shaped by children walking beside beasts without trembling hearts. As dawn returned, the vision faded, but its truth remained, carried quietly in every step taken upon the shared land. Thus the lion became more than guardian, becoming memory itself, reminding all beings that survival is strongest when shared. When the lion sensed other hunters beyond the horizon, he did not challenge them, but welcomed their presence as echoes of the same ancient law. In the shadowed forests, the lion walked unseen, witnessing hunger, fear, and the fragile line where survival turns into conflict. With signs carved in living wood, the lion taught that pathways can guide instinct, allowing predator and village to exist without blood. Across frozen plains, the lion entered lands of wolves, where endurance ruled, and every choice determined whether winter became death or balance. The old law was shown again: share what is taken, leave enough for tomorrow, and the hunt will never become war. As offerings were accepted, the wolves withdrew, proving that respect can come teeth sharper than any weapon forged by humans. The lion returned to the heart of the land, carrying lessons gathered from forests, snow, and silent observation, etched into earth itself. The stories of coexistence aligned, forming a single truth shaped by many lands and many lives. Before the people, the lion stood not as ruler, but as mirror, reflecting what humanity could become through restraint. Ahead, a glowing path unfolded, not promising safety, but offering a future where choice, not fear, would decide survival. The lion walked beside human fires, not feared now, but watched with reverence, as children learned silence before strength. Where borders once bled with conflict, new markers rose, guiding hearts, hunters, and spirits along agreed paths of survival. In distant jungles, the lion sensed striped shadows, where tigers guarded balance through patience sharper than rage. He bowed to the tiger's wisdom, learning that solitude can preserve harmony when shared land grows narrow. From this union of lessons, the lion shaped a code older than law, written not in words, but in behavior. Humans began listening to land itself, reading warnings in broken silence and abundance in returning trucks. Predators responded not with mercy, but recognition, understanding intention through patterns humans finally respected. Thus, conflict faded into ritual, where loss was honored, and no death passed without meaning. The lion's presence softened, becoming less flesh and more symbol, as balance learned to stand alone. Only then did the land breathe freely, preparing both hunter and guardian for the final turning of time. As seasons turned, humans taught their young not conquest, but coexistence, shaping courage through restraint rather than dominance. The lion watched villages grow quieter, where nights once screamed, now echoed with respectful distance. Wolves appeared in his dreams, moving as one breath, reminding him that unity can soften hunger's sharpest edge. He carried this lesson across plains, where lone hunters learned to guard livestock without declaring war. Fences evolved into symbols, not prisons, guiding movement instead of denying life. Conflict still arose, but no longer ruled, becoming teacher rather than curse. The lion stood between fear and wisdom, asking neither side to surrender, only to see clearly. Humans answered by sharing space, time, and patience, rediscovering ancient agreements buried beneath progress. Predators withdrew where respect grew, returning only when balance called them back. Thus, the land began writing its future, one careful step between claw and hand. The lion sensed the world pausing, as if land, sky, and bloodlines waited for one final understanding. He roared not in warning, but in remembrance, calling ancient spirits to witness a new covenant. Humans gathered without weapons, carrying stories, offerings, and the humility learned through loss. Predators answered from shadows, not to claim territory, but to acknowledge shared destiny. In that moment, fear loosened its grip, replaced by respect shaped through generations of survival. The lion stepped back into myth, his form dissolving into wind, earth, and guiding stars, yet his presence remained, alive in choices made when conflict could return. Children of both worlds inherited this silence, heavy with responsibility and hope. Thus ended the age of domination, giving rise to an era of listening. And the land endured, shared by claw and hand, as long as the promise was remembered.